Vibe Chemistry, Charlotte Plank, Rudimental, Dancing is Healing here on BBC Radio London. And I agree with that. Dancing is healing. I did a lot of that over the weekend because I was at a wedding. And not only was I a guest at a wedding, I ordained the ceremony. Pretty random. But they had their registry office ceremony the week before. And then they had the grand ceremony with all the guests in the wedding dress and the DJ and the speeches and some lovely, lovely food in the countryside in Surrey over the weekend. And they said, Alice, we want someone at the altar who's going to make us feel at ease and talks for England. So, of course, you were the first person we thought of, which was lovely. So congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Hickey, Emma and Owen, who tied the knot over the weekend. It was lovely to be a part of that day. They're quite creative, which takes me on to my next guest, because they are someone that submitted their creative talents to this little thing we like to call BBC Upload.
Upload. Get yourself on the BBC. Go to bbc.co.uk/upload and upload your content now.
So BBC Upload is that place where you submit your creative content, and I'm here to be your biggest cheerleader. And I am going to be that cheerleader for Mark Hobbs this evening. He is a budding radio presenter, alumnus from the Global Academy, and brings the energy. This is what came into my BBC Upload DMs.
I asked you to let me know what you're having for breakfast, and I'm going to rate it live on air. So let's get into it. First of all, right, I just want to explain how it's going to work. So if I like the breakfast I hear, I'm going to give it a slay. And if you hear this noise, it means slay. However, if I don't like the breakfast, if I think it sounds disgusting, I'll be giving it a nay. And if you hear this sound, it means it's an A. Okay, so now we know how it's going to work. Let's do it. First of all,
There we go. So that's Mark Hobbs giving you his riveting opinion on the breakfast. Yay, slay or nay. And he's here now. Look, I had pancakes with, what did I have? Maple syrup on them. Slay or nay?
Oh, slay.
Yes.
Definitely. Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're a slay. They tasted really nice. It was missing bacon. Normally I do the bacon,
Oh, no.
the
I hate
pancakes.
bacon.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
Controversial opinion, but I hate it.
Oh, so does it turn it from a slay to an A? Come
Yes.
on. What? I thought you were on my team. Look, you are the lovely Mark Hobbs. You submitted that compilation there. That's your student radio breakfast show. And you said in your submission, it's not an application, submission to BBC Upload, that presenting and production is your passion. It's something you've done since the age of 12. You're 18, going on 19, and you still love it. Look, where did this all begin for you?
Well, it began. So I grew up with mild autism. I was one of these children who, just didn't fit in the average school system. I absolutely hated school, to be honest.
Right.
I was quite shy, didn't have much confidence because I was also quite badly bullied at school. And that really affected my confidence and, made me quite shy and not the creative, bubbly person I am now. So we were looking for things to do where I could, be myself, boost that confidence. And we found my local community radio station. So this was around the age 11, 12. I started volunteering there. They gave me my own radio show right away at the age of 12. I don't know if that was a mistake, but
not at all. You clearly shined.
Yeah.
Shone. Anna will tell me off there.
So I'm still at that same community radio station now. Since the age of 12, I've been there. I've done loads of different radio shows, and that's where I found my passion, because a radio studio is my happy place. And it's where I find I can be myself. I can have fun, listen to music, talk, which is all the things that I love doing.
Yes.
And it's just a safe, non-judgmental space where I can express myself, which I really, really love.
Well, same. I think it's lovely to hear how you found that safe space, that place that really allows you to be you. And I have to reiterate that that's exactly why I love radio, because it is that safe space. And people think, aren't you daunted? Don't you find it daunting? Well, no, it's just me in a room being my fun, crazy self. So I like it all.
I'm more confident in front of a mic than I am talking to someone face to face. It's weird.
Yes, but you mentioned there at school, you experienced you know the bullying, and
Yeah.
you were bullied quite badly since a young age. How did you navigate that to a place where you felt ready to be you? Because I can only imagine it was very, very hard. Bullying often suppresses its victims, so to
Yeah.
sort of be to kind of see the other side of that. What was that navigation like for you?
Well, it was just, a lot of talking, to friends, to family, to teachers, and just talking about how I feel, and what's going on was really, really important, and made me a lot more confident person, and allowed me to come out the other side
Sure.
even more, confident like I am now.
Yes. Well, I'm really glad you did, because it's so lovely to hear you, doing your thing on that
Yeah.
station. And I know for the past few years you've also been involved in a pop up charity radio station as well. So you're mixing it up when it comes to
Yeah.
Christmas. Go on, tell me what you get up to.
So I've loved being involved. It's a pop-up charity radio station. It's on FM in our local area every year, just at Christmas. And the whole point of the radio station is, through 24-hour radio broadcasting, raising money for an incredible charity called Street Kids Direct.
Mm-hmm.
And they do an amazing job helping kids who very sadly are homeless, have to live on the street, in Central America. So Honduras, Guatemala, and the amazing team, they live and work in those places, Honduras and Guatemala, and they come over to this country every year to run this pop-up radio station to raise as much money as possible for this incredible cause. And they let local people get involved with everything. You don't need any experience. So I've done everything from radio presenting, producing, I've done news reading. It's just fantastic community organization who uses radio for a good cause, which I
That's
really, really
wonderful.
love.
And something that's carried forward kind of across platforms. I think radio very much is, and especially through lockdown times, we really felt how radio is that friend
Yes.
to people, and that helping hand, and also a source to be able to, a resource to help others. We had this big thing in lockdown where if people had a local organisation that they could recommend or pass on, then they would use sort of this station could be a vehicle basically to spread the word. So it's brilliant, isn't it, how radio heads can come together and really help people that are at the rut of a situation, and it sounds like a really fantastic cause there at Christmas with you. Now we need to talk about the Global Academy, because that's where you went and did a diploma.
Yes. So I started there year 10. I've been there for 4 years, so year 10 to year 13. And it's an incredible place. I absolutely loved it.
And do they go from year 7 to,
No,
or is it no? So it's kind of like a middle.
At year 10. Yeah.
Okay. And what was it like breaking away from your school before? Obviously you've done year 9. It's when they start, completed year 9, and they start gearing you up for GCSEs and all that kind of stuff. And you thought, no, look, I know what I want to do, and I know where I'm going to do it. So I'm leaving. Year 10 start somewhere else. What was that whole transition like for you?
It's weird, because obviously you're so used to like leaving a school at the same time as everyone else, like at the end of first school and at the end of secondary school, but leaving like basically halfway through was really odd. But for me, it's one of the best decisions I ever made. As I say, I hated school. I'm not a very academic person. I'm a more creative, hands-on, practical person. So moving from that academic environment that I absolutely hated to this, amazing creative hub was just so amazing. And I became a completely different person, because what I love so much about the Global Academy is that everyone wants to be there. So you can see that the second you walk in a normal school, you have so many people who are waiting for that bell to ring so they can go home. They really don't want to be there.
Sure.
But it's a very different vibe at the Global Academy, because everyone's got that same goal. Everyone, no matter how or what they're into, wants to be in the media industry some way. So I find everyone's so friendly. I've had no bullying, no anything horrible happened there. It's all been so lovely. Everyone's so nice, hardworking, and yeah, it's just an incredible creative hub, which I absolutely love.
That's just wonderful. And we talk a lot on this show about finding your tribe, and it sounds like you really have. You're in a place with like-minded people, and you can bounce off of each other. And I have taken a visit myself, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
I mean, the facilities. I was so jealous. I thought, why can't I be in year 10? As much as I'm loving the opportunities I have now, just to have lived sort of year 10, year 11, doing the diploma in a place like that would have been fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit more about your course and how it's led to the now after Jax Jones and Callum Scott's.
Baby, if we only got
Yep, bbc.co.uk/upload is the place to go. It's me here, and me, Alice Dale here, every Monday between 8 and 10, being your biggest cheerleader, platforming the things that you're good at, those creative things. Don't sit on something. If you've got a creative project and you haven't shared it yet, use me. Come on, let me be that platform. Shout out to Anna Harris, who is spoiling me this evening with the Yorkshire tea bag. She said, she goes, do you want a tea? And I said, go on then, have black tea. And she goes, I've got Yorkshire tea bags. But they're in an undisclosed place in case anyone else from BBC Radio London in her handbag. Okay, so nobody in the office can get their hands on them yet. Brilliant. I have to bring back Mark Hobbs, my second BBC Upload guest of this evening, who's very good at yay or naying food. What do you think about Yorkshire tea bags? Have you tried them? Is it yay or slay? Slay or yay? Slay or nay?
Slay or nay.
Slay or nay? Yeah, go on. What are we saying about Yorkshire tea bags? There's other brands available.
I don't like tea or coffee.
Oh, I need that little sound that you've got.
I'm a hot chocolate kind of guy.
Oh, I do love a hot chocolate. Do you know, actually, hot chocolate got me into drinking coffee because I really needed a caffeine hit, but tea wasn't quite hitting it. And then there was this magical machine in this place where I worked prior to BBC. It was an iPad, and it had every hot drink you could think of, and there was one for mochas. So I clicked on the mocha. So I've got my chocolate hit, but I've got my coffee hit. Are you a coffee drinker, Mark?
No, the only hot drink I like is hot chocolate.
Well,
I'm not
debating
I hated it. I've tried coffee. I hated it. Hopefully my taste buds might change though. I'll keep trying them. Like them one day.
It's a weird one because I could never imagine myself drinking coffee. It was so horrible and bitter for so many years, and then one day it just, I guess I grew into it. It's weird, but look, I'm not judging. It's very subjective. So look, we're not here to necessarily talk about coffee and caffeine. It is in fact your career so far as a radio broadcaster. Now, just before the music there, we were talking about your experience at the Global Academy, and you really felt like you fit in. And it was a funny time because most people leave school, sort of they stay till year 11, don't they? But I was the same as you, actually. I switched schools up at the end of, I think I went in year 9 to year 11. So I kind of know what it's like to break away from a school system that you're used to and go elsewhere. And for you, it was the Global Academy. Now, tell me what you studied there.
So in year 10 and 11, we still did our GCSEs. So I did the usual English, maths, science. They don't do things like PE. But what they do instead of PE is once a term, we have a wellbeing day, which I really loved. So rather than your usual, like running around a football field, we do more fun things, but still keeps us fit. So we did like Zumba, yoga,
lovely.
Basketball, all things like that. So they do that once a term, but we don't do your average PE classes. Yeah, we did science, English, maths, and then, of course, a media GCSE as well. And then in year 12, we specialise in media. So that's all we do. So all our classes are media, and they have partnered with UAL, which is the University of the Arts London. So they kind of run the course. So year 12, I'd got a diploma already at the end of year 12. And then year 13, we were working on an extended diploma, which is what I've just finished with and awaiting my results of.
Oh, well, good luck. When do you get those? Is it August?
Yes, August.
Oh, I remember that. I found out my GCSE results at my college results My GCSE results I found out in the Fields of Reading Festival, and I'll never forget it because my English teacher was like, "You're going to get a D," and I got an A*. And I was running around and I didn't care about anything else at that point. And then I got my nose pierced because I was so excited. And my dad said, "Oh, please, not the face. Okay, we'll settle for nose." So that's a fun story. I wouldn't recommend necessarily leaping into a tattoo parlour the minute you find out. But I don't regret the decision. I'm still
There's
rocking.
better ways to celebrate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. But best of luck. So that was the Creative Media Technology and Production course.
Yes.
And so what kind of now? I mean, you're still presenting with your local radio station, which is fantastic.
Yes.
And community led. It allows you to continually practice those skills that you've picked up. What kind of, aside from radio, I guess with media technology and production, there were things aside from talking behind a mic that you learnt.
Yes, I've learned so many skills, like all the Adobe softwares. I didn't know there was so many.
Yes,
Adobe
I know.
Creative Cloud.
Yeah.
You only knew the obvious ones, but there are so many which I'm now very confident in, which I wasn't. So I also do things like at the local community radio station. I also help with things like social media production.
Mm-hmm.
And those skills I learned at the Global Academy because I got so many incredible opportunities. Like, for example, for the student station Youth's Choice, me and my friend got the chance to go to RuPaul's DragCon UK.
Wow.
As press. So we were there as press.
You get better gigs than me, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were there alongside places, like the BBC, like Hobbs. We were there in that same room, which was really weird because here's a bit of a story. So I did the application. I thought, it would be quite nice to be press at a large event. I'll fill in this form. Mm-hmm. I didn't think anything would come from it. It's just a small student station. Why would they want us there? And then one day I got the email come through and it said, "Your request for press has been accepted." And
Fantastic.
I was like, what? Why do they want us?
Because you're fabulous. You're fabulous. And you know your stuff. Yeah.
Me and my friend went and we got loads of content. We got YouTube videos, we got audio for the radio, we made a podcast, TikToks, and that content actually was posted online and did really well. It got really, really high numbers.
Oh, wow. So, well done, you guys.
Yeah, that's just one of the amazing opportunities I've had and have learnt so many amazing skills from, which I'm using now.
So you've had, the opportunity to experience what it's like in the studio, outside, on a press junket, the social media side. Is there a side that you would like to explore that you haven't yet? Or actually, is there kind of a part of broadcast that you'd like to fine tune a little bit more?
Well, so during my time there, I kind of specialized in radio because that's what I love, radio, audio, podcasts.
Yeah.
So I spent every minute of every day in the radio studios. If you were trying to find me, just look in a radio studio and it's a pretty easy place.
We know Mark Hobbs is in there.
So just look in one of them. But something I did a little bit there because they have 2 TV studios, but I haven't really done much TV production. I'm a bit out of my depth there. But that's something I'd like to learn more about and kind of grow my skills in TV and video production.
For sure. Well, look, I think you've got a mighty career ahead of you. I would 110% recommend giving everything a go because a lot of people want to dive into presenting, but I think it's so important, as you know from your course and all the things you've picked up along the way, that it's important to know how to run the ship before you steer the ship. And actually,
done a lot of production as well.
Exactly. And I think I went into production before, and then it led to reporting, and then it led to presenting. And like you, I was part of a local community station called Meridian FM, which was in East Grinstead, and it was just a really great chance to have fun with loads of different opportunities. And like you, it took me to Festival Fields, and I was cutting and editing audio, and again, in this day and age, it's so important to be able to run the socials as well. So good luck in, maybe we'll have to get you in to do some co-hosting with me on BBC Upload. But it's been lovely to get to know you a little bit more. I'm sure we've met, haven't we, when I came in?
Yes.
Yes,
I,
yes.
I was at your radio workshop.
Yes.
thing. Yes.
Yes, and it was because I definitely remember you, and I thought, yes, this is someone that I know beyond a piece of paper and a CV, and it's so wonderful to have you here with me now on BBC Upload.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well done, and I think you're going to do you're going to have you're going to cement your mark in the industry. I do not doubt it. But before you go, I feel like you should round this off by saying, I'm Mark Hobbs, and this is BBC Upload on BBC Radio London.
Hi, I'm Mark Hobbs. You're listening to BBC Radio London, and this is BBC Upload with Alice Dale.
Alice Dale.
BBC
Radio London.
A big thank you to Mark Hobbs for submitting his voice reel, his demo to BBC Upload. As a result, he's joined me on the show this evening to talk about his love for radio, and as another result, a snowball effect, I'm going to be getting him in to do some co-hosting with me. So you got to watch out for the Mark Hobbs special with me in the next couple of weeks. But this is what this show is all about. It is very much about platforming your work and getting you noticed, getting you to that next step. I also have to say a massive thank you to everyone else who's been submitting their stuff as well, because I'm watching journeys, I'm watching growth on this show.